Yeah, do you have any questions on Ajax?
Not really. I didn't get a chance to review this.
Oh, okay, fine. So verify once, and if you have any questions, we will discuss. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ajax is over. Okay, now we will start a JSP Java server pages. So JSP. So so far we discussed about HTML, right? HTML, JavaScript, and correct.
Mhm.
Today we will start. About JSP. So JSP also is similar like HTML. So
Okay.
inside JSP also you can able to write all the stuff whatever you can able to write. In HTML same thing you can able to do with JSP also. But what is the difference between HTML and JSP? The main difference between the HTML and JSP is kind of server side component. HTML is like a client side component. So HTML will run under client side, whereas JSP is running under server side and it will give the response back to the user. That is one
Mm.
difference. Okay, this is just theoretical I'm telling, and we will see examples later. Okay, and the second one is right. So JSP every time whenever you are running it, so it will be converted into servlet, and the servlet means again it will create object. All those things is there. Okay, JSP will convert into servlet and it will give the response back. So this is the major two differences between HTML and JSP.
Okay.
Okay,
So HTML is a client side, right?
yes, correct, exactly, yes. And the JSP is kind of server side component. It will execute and it will give the response back, and all the JSP will be converted into servlet, and a servlet is having its own life cycle. Then we will see that one when we are discussing about servlets. So JSP is behaving like a servlet also, and JSP is behaving like a HTML also. So that is the basic difference between HTML and JSP.
Hmm.
Okay, now we will see one simple example about JSP. Okay, now I'm going to create one dynamic project. New dynamic project. So this is a simple web project, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now inside that I'm going to create one index dot something hanging. There's some noise is coming. What is that? Hello?
Yeah. I was checking my car is keep beeping.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not my car. It's someone else's car.
Uh-huh. Okay, now inside web content, I'm going to create one JSP. So how to create JSP? It is same like HTML how you are creating. Just right click, new, and just go to other and just type JSP. And next, so here you can type index, next, and finish it. So this is the index.jsp. So I created just now. And if you see this one, do you see any difference between HTML and JSP? So we have body tag, head tag, title,
No.
head, everything is same on HTML, correct?
Right.
And there is another difference is inside JSP you can able to write Java code also. Inside JSP you can able to write Java code also. This is one another difference. So basically there
Okay.
are three differences so far we have discussed, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So inside JSP you can able to write HTML code and it will be converted into servlet, and inside JSP you can able to write Java code also. So these are the basic differences between, but inside HTML you are not able to write Java code, correct? Long back we have already saw these examples, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we will see about the JSP. There is some basic, some of the tag. So inside JSP, like everything you can able to write. Like I'm not going to discuss about HTML part. So wherever inside the body is there, inside that you can able to write all HTML tags. There is no issue at all. So whatever HTML tags so far you discussed, you can write everything inside body tag. So it will accept.
Hmm.
And just now I said, so inside JSP we can able to write Java code also, correct? So we will see some of the tags how we can able to include Java code.
Okay.
Okay. So when we are injecting the Java code into JSP, right, we need to follow some of the syntax. The syntax is called as a tags. Okay,
Tags,
yes,
right?
tags, yeah. The first one is, say for instance, if you want to write Java code, so we have to use a tag called scriptlet.
Script lab.
Scriptlet. So what is the scriptlet? I can show you. So here, percent. Did you see this? So this
Right.
is called scriptlet. So inside this you can write Java code. Java code here. And I said right inside this, I mean inside body we can able to write HTML also. Okay, let me give here. I want to write here
Is it
H1.
Java? Is it a Java core Java or is just a JavaScript?
Not JavaScript, it's core Java.
Oh, okay.
So you can write all Java code, whatever you know. So this is HTML tag, correct? At line number 10.
Mm-hmm.
And at line number 13, I can write all Java code. Let me write. I suppose I want to display one sys out. How to write? System dot out dot println. Correct? So this is Java code, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that you can able to write all Java code, whatever is so far you know. So this is pure Java, correct? So like that you can able to write n number of statements, and this is pure HTML. Now if you how to run this JSP, just right click. Let's see this run as on server. Then we need to deploy this application into, so we need to deploy this application into server. Second, sorry, why this server is not coming up.
Is it because of the Java code doesn't have the close tag?
No, no, not like that. The server is not restarting. So just now server restarted. Now we need to deploy. So now server is fine. Now we need to deploy our application. So how to deploy? Right click, run on server. Next, and this JSP demo, and finish it. Then the application will be deployed. Correct? Did you see this in console? What you are seeing?
Right.
So this is Java code, right? See whatever you are writing here, you are getting in the console. You are seeing the response. And what is this? This is the HTML tag, correct? And you are seeing HTML,
But
HTML
okay.
response, correct? So we can able to write Java code, correct? And we can able to write HTML code. And what happens,
But
you know? Yeah,
I don't see the word that you wrote it on the sysout. How are you?
you can see it, right?
I'm seeing it there, but it's not on the application. That's
No, the Java, so all the Java, I mean core Java, whatever you are writing sys out, right? We can able to see in console only, correct? See here. If you write a simple hello world program, if you run it, where you will see the hello world? So you will see in the console only.
so in this case, it's not gonna be on the application.
Sorry? In
In
this case?
this case,
Uh-huh.
yeah, for this one, it's not gonna be on the application, right? I was thinking that it's going to be on the application.
No, I didn't get your question actually. Can you please repeat again?
No, as you when you pushing it, right, the application is goes to the server and it says the Java code here, right?
Correct. Yes, yes.
After, and after that you have the tag with the percentage. So in this one it says out how are you, but I did not see this in the application. That's what I said. It's
So
not going to be in the application.
yes, it is there in your application, and this tag will be displayed on the server console, server side.
Oh, that one is going to be server side, but the HTML tag it will be on the
Exactly.
application.
Yes, this is from the client side and this is from the server side.
Ah, okay, I see.
So this is server side and this is
Okay,
client side.
okay. So HTML tag is going to be represented, but the core Java is going to be on the server side for the interacting.
Correct, exactly, yes. So now this is client, correct for us. Now here what you will see, this is client, right, HTML,
Mm-hmm.
and you will see HTML tag, and if you go back to your server and you will see, so for every refresh your JSP will execute, correct? So now did you see this backend side?
Right. Okay.
Server
I
side you
see.
are getting, client side also you are getting response.
Hmm. I see.
So this is the a tag called scriptlet. Inside that you can write all Java code, whatever you want. This is scriptlet is clear, right?
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, say for instance, if you want to declare a variable, you can have to declare it. Let me declare one. How we are declaring in general a variable integer I equal to 100, correct? So this is the way we are declaring. So you can write
Right.
declare variable whatever you want, and you can write for loop, everything you can able to write. So you can able to write for loop, integer, everything. Okay, now there is another tag called declaration. Say for instance, if you want to declare a variable, so whatever you define this variable, right? So you define one variable here, right? So this variable is available only in a local variable. Like if you see in your Java class, right, we have a public static void main, correct?
Hmm. Yep.
So whatever variable you are declaring here, so it will be available. It's a kind of local variable. It is not available like a global variable. If you declare any variable
Okay.
inside the main method, so it is available only inside the main method, correct? Outside of main
Right.
method you are not able to access it, correct?
Right.
In the similar way, whatever variable you declared here, so this variable will be available inside the service method. So that we will see it later. It is kind of local variable here. Okay. Then how
Mm.
to declare a global variable? So
Okay.
what I mean, let me write a simple. I'm going to write a simple Java class. So this is a considered test and public static void main. Yes. So now if I declare a variable here, integer I equal to 10. So this is a local variable and this is available only
In this
inside
main
this main
method.
method, correct? Now if I declare a variable here, static integer k equal to 100. So this variable k I can able to access inside the main method also, correct? So this is called global
Right.
variable, this is called local variable, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now whatever variable I declared here, so this is a local variable. And how to declare a global variable? So to declare global variable we have to use a tag called declaration tag. So how to declare a variable? So percentage declaration symbol, and here you need to define integer k equal to 100. So this is called a declaration tag. So now whatever variable I declared here, so this will be available for everywhere, and this is available only in this block.
Right.
And this variable, say for instance, now if you want to write here Java code here something, so here if you want to access that variable you can able to access it. Here it will not work, you have to write fully system.out.println. Say for instance I want to access k variable. K variable is a global variable, correct? Did you see this? I
Mm-hmm.
can able to access it, right? So this
Right.
variable. Now if I run it, I will get 100. So how to run it? Just go back. Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
K equal to 100, correct? I can able to retrieve it, right?
Right.
So this is called declaration tag and this is called expression. So inside this you can able to write n number of lines of Java code. And it's clear, right, so far these two tags.
Right.
So these are the some of the basic differences between like a JSP and HTML. Now we will see, say for instance, now if you want to display something to the user using,
Okay.
so if you want to display something to the user, we are using HTML tags, right? Now I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to use HTML, I want to use something Java code. So how to display it? Sorry, percentage equal to, do you see this? This is called expression. Expression means you want to present something to the user. So in this case you can write it here. Do you see this? See, so hi, how are you? Now let me go back to our client and just refresh it. Can you able to see this one? Hi, how are you? So but this hi, how are you is not a HTML tag. Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a HTML. So this is purely kind of Java code. So if you want to access some of the variable here, see k equal to 100. So this is a global variable I want to access, and I want to display to the user also. Apart from server side, I want to display to the client side also. Did you see this? K I can able to access it, and I can able to display to the client also. So this is client and this is server, correct? So Java code I can able to display, Java variable values I can able to display to the client also,
Hmm.
correct?
Is this why it says it's a Java pop-up sometime?
Java pop-up means
Now, sometime on the application it shows that there are some, I don't know how to put it in. There are sometimes called this is a Java related pop-up, some
Java.
sort of the alert. Yeah, like yeah. Is it?
So
Uh,
they are using any other framework apart from this HTML or JSP?
Probably, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that out. Okay, okay, you know what? I'm not clearly confirmed. It could be
Okay.
a
Maybe they are
pop-up.
using some different framework like what is that, Bootstrap or Angular
Be-
JS.
uh, because sometimes when I work with the pop-up,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I see the when I try to investigate the pop-up,
Mm-hmm.
at that time I see the uniquely the number is when I investigate every time I investigate it gives me the unique data, unique ID.
Oh, okay, okay. So here also, if you want unique ID, we
Just
can able to generate it. Yeah, yeah, correct. Maybe for unique purpose, they were generating.
like every single time then when I investigate it is it's just the alert is like hard to identify,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have the ID, but the number keep changing on that pop-up like
Yes, yes,
Java.
correct. Yes, yeah, that is because of Java code only. You are correct. Yes, yes. So now I am displaying here always 100, right? Say for instance, I
uh,
don't want to see 100 always. Just I want to display some random number. So here there is a random number. We can able to generate it. Math dot random and into some 100. And
okay.
here if you want to convert that to math dot round. So this is a like a global variable, right? So if one time if you declare, and next time also it will be declared same thing. So to change this one every time, what we have to do? So we have to define the variable. Instead of that, you can define the variable. Yes, 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 yes. Here. Did you see this? Hi, how are you? How the number is generating client server side?
Right. Uh-huh.
So every time the number is changing, right?
Mm-hmm. I see.
So this is the way you can able to generate unique number. Right now I am displaying unique number is 2 character, 2 digit number. If you want 3 digit number, you can just put zeros, how many zeros, how many number you want, so that you can able to generate that unique number. is here. No. Just refresh, so you will get unique number. So in that way they will generate the unique number to identify the pop-up or window or anything. So basically that is a Java code, whatever you said, that is correct only. So from Java side you can able to generate it. That will be presented to the user.
Right.
So this is the some of the, so for every time, right, whenever you are writing the code, so this JSP will be converted into Java code, and that Java file will be there at a server side. So the Java file will who so this JSP will be converted into Java, and the Java file will be there at a server side. That Java file will be converted into dart class, and for the dart class, this container means we have a tomcat, right? The tomcat will
Mm-hmm.
be created object for the generated class. So for every request there might be a single object will be there. The single object is serving for all the requests. Say for instance, now this is one client, correct?
Right.
And now I'm going to create another client. Means another client means different browser, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's taking much time. So so if even though if thousands of customer is trying to access our application, so the server side is only one object. So these are two customers, correct? But server side, right, only one object means, so this JSP will be converted into Java file, and a Java file object will created by a container, and the container that particular Java object will be serving for all the request. So one object, same like a Java, correct? So in Java how we are using object oriented programming, correct?
Right.
So in the similar way here also this JSP will be converted into a Java class, and that will be created object. Who will create that object? Container. So that object, so for every time, so there is a method called service. That we will see it later when we are discussing about servlet. So every time for every request, whenever user is, see here, whenever user is refreshing, that particular service method will be called, and your request will be processed, and it will give the response back to you. So basically this JSP will be converted into Java file, and that Java will be converted into dart class, and so that object will be created and it will be processed for every request. So this is the basic difference between HTML and JSP. Clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get this question, what is the basic difference between HTML and JSP? Then you need to tell these points.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is clear. Now we will see one of the
Just
servlet.
a,
Yeah.
yeah, in summarize, it's just like HTML is represent to the client side, and servlet is like more over the server side.
Correct, yes. So it is moreover server side, but it will display the response to the client as well.
Also, yeah, it displays if the user wants to
Yes,
have something.
basically the JSP is a server side component, but the response will be displayed to the client as well.
Uh-huh. It goes both sides. Okay.
Correct,
Okay.
exactly. It goes both. So the response will be displayed to the client, and but the originally it is running on the server side, and response will be displayed to the client side. Correct, clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what we will do, we will see another example, and we will see another example like a servlet plus JSP together components.
Okay.
Okay, let me write. Okay, now, so for JSP is fine. Now there is another example we are going to see. So JSP servlet demo. So here, right, I want to define a simple login form by writing username and password, and I want to submit it, username password, and it should reach server, and I want to validate it whether username is valid or invalid. Correct? It should go to the server and it should go to connect to the database and it should validate it and it will give the response back to the user. Username is valid or username is invalid. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So how to do this one? So here not only client, we are interacting to the server also. We need to read the parameters what our user is entering, username and password. That fields we need to read on the server side. Correct?
Right.
So how to read that values from the server side? So we can able to read that values from the server side by using servlets. So far we have not submitted any data to the server, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Just we are displaying only on the client side, correct? So now I am
Right.
going to write one simple JSP. So here just right click and go to one of the JSP, or you can use HTML also. So because basically I want to write simple HTML text, correct? So here I
Okay.
want to define some small table. So this is HTML tag, right? I can use HTML also. Why to go for JSP, correct?
Right.
So here this is a tier and
Is
inside
there
that
any advantages, disadvantage between that?
there, if at all, if you don't want to write anything in Java related stuff, then you can go for HTML. It's lightweight. If you
Okay.
want to write like a scriptlet or something in between, so then you have to go for JSP. You don't have any other option. But just I want to
Okay.
show you we can able to write HTML code also inside JSP. That's what I am using this JSP file. So this is username and similarly I want password and one submit button, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, you can consider password and this is PWD and this is PWD and you can remove this tag and you can make this one as a call span to, and this is, you can say, submit.
What is call span?
Yes, call span means so in this table each row is having how many columns? Two columns,
Okay.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
But two rows and three rows and two columns, correct?
Right.
The table is look like this. First row and second row. First row is having two columns, username and password. This is username and this is text box, correct?
Right.
Password and text box. But for the last row I want to display only one button in between. I want to combine these two columns into one big column and I want to write submit button, correct? To
Okay.
combine two columns into one big column, we have to use, how many columns you want to combine? I want to combine two columns. So that's what I had given number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you will do, you just go to this page and deploy into, we can able to see the form, correct?
Right.
So this is HTML tag, right? So this one we know very
Right.
well,
So
correct?
yeah. So it's pretty much, instead of writing the in HTML, I can write it here. It's everything is going to work same way. But advantage of here, writing it, I can write the JavaScript, right?
Correct. You can write JavaScript, everything, yes.
But HTML I cannot.
In HTML file you cannot, yes.
Okay.
In HTML file you cannot.
Okay. But only I can make the connection from the JavaScript
Correct.
in
You,
HTML.
yes, only through JavaScript only you can able to connect to the server. Otherwise you
Right.
cannot.
So what is the most of the company uses? Is it they uses this or JSP or?
It's like both. So that is depends. In some scenario, if you don't want to connect to the server, or if you don't want to write anything like Java code, then you can go for HTML. If you want to send
Okay.
some data to the server, then you use Ajax.
Okay.
By using,
So let's say for example, there's a big company, right? Like Chase and all. They uses like HTML or they also use both.
both we
Oh,
are
okay.
using both. We are using both actually. It's not only HTML. We are using both. But
Okay.
my best suggestion is we need to avoid JSP.
Why?
Best way is, so it's like a heavyweight component, right? It will create, I don't know whether you noticed or not. If you see this one, right? So I will, let me show you that one. This is one of the toughest interview question. So now the server is stopped, correct? Now I'm restarting my server. First time. Just now I restarted the server, and now let me go to client and let me create. So first time, right? When to load this page it will take a lot of time. Why? Because the entire the JSP need to convert into Java file, and Java file object need to be created, and object method we have to access it. There is a lot of steps right here.
Hmm.
So first
Okay.
time it will take a lot of time. But for HTML there is no object, there is no Java, correct? Which is
So it's a
lightweight.
direct language.
Yes, HTML is very lightweight, and the JSP is heavyweight component.
Oh, I see.
So but we can write Java code, all those things. So we have to avoid writing JSP files. So best one is
Right.
HTML. And now if you feel here, if you see here, you can type here and we can able to click the button, correct?
Right.
Now this is everything is this JSP is one document, and here I want to write a simple form, and this is our form starting tag, and this is our ending tag, and our form action equal to login. We will see what is that login, all those things. Okay, now our JSP file is ready, correct?
Mm-hmm.
After that we need to, whenever you are submitting this form, we need to read these fields, right? Username and password, correct? At the server
Right.
side, correct? To validate it whether it's valid or invalid. So it is not a text username, so this one is password. So why I made this one as a password? See, if user is typing here, right, we can able to see the password, correct? But in general we should not display, should display like this, correct? So for
Mm-hmm.
that you can mention, instead of text you can mention password, so then it will be displayed as a dot dot, it will not display the content as it is. Okay, so now we have to write servlet to read these parameters, correct? So for that purpose, did you see this src?
Right.
So inside src we have to write our servlet component. Just right click, new, and just go to other, and just select here web. Under web you will see servlet. So next, and you give the package name com dot test, just say login, com dot login, and the class name login servlet. This is a package and this is class name, and finish it. And finish it. So this is the generator servlet. Did you see this? This is important, little bit important.
Wait a minute.
Let me remove all this stuff, generated code.
This is servlet?
Yes, this is servlet, yes.
Yeah.
Just I'm removing all the comments so that it looks.
What is servlet does exactly?
Servlet will receive the request from the user and it will process it. So
Like for example,
whenever user is submitting login page, someone need to receive and someone need to process it, right?
right.
So who will receive the request? Servlet will receive the request and it will process the request and it will give the response back. Meaning we can able to read the username and password here and connect to the database and give the response back to them, like a username is invalid and username is valid.
It's like whenever you have the multiple duplicate username or something, right?
Yes, it's valid or invalid, we need to verify it, right?
Okay.
So that can be done inside the servlet side. Okay, whenever you are submitting the form, so to which servlet we need to navigate the request? How to map the relation between this JSP and servlet? That is a question, right? So to map that one, so we have a JSP and we have a servlet. So whenever any request is submitting from this JSP, it should reach always to this login servlet, correct?
Right.
Now how to send that request? So to map that kind of relationship, we have a web-inf. Inside the web-inf, we have a web.xml. Did you see this? So inside web.xml, we have welcome file list. I think we discussed welcome file, right, long back. So whenever you are loading the file, it will try to display this file as a home page.
I don't remember if we had discussed.
Yeah, so nothing but so inside the welcome file list, you can define what is your home page. So if you open any google.com, what is your home page? What page you will see by default? Search box, correct? If you open gmail.com, what page you will see default?
Gmail.
Username and password, correct?
Right.
What the hell is this? Oh, spelling mistake.
Your spelling is okay. Now is
Yeah, what is this default page, right? Always, correct?
right.
So this is default page. In the similar way, for your application also, you can define your default page. Write the page here, index.html, and define the page, and it will be displayed always whenever you are launching your application. If you see here, right, so are we mentioning any file name here?
Nope.
But which file is opening here? Your index.jsp,
Login.
correct? Index.jsp. So we
Because
cannot,
that's the first file that we have it.
correct, yeah, we have defined here. So index.jsp. So you need to define the file here, so then that file will be displayed by default always. So that is called welcome file, correct? So that can be configured under welcome file list, correct? Clear, right? What is welcome file?
Yep.
After that, and we can remove this. Yes, after that, after welcome file list, so there is some other tags. So we defined one servlet, right? Just now we have created one servlet, correct? So that servlet we have to define in your web.xml. See this? So this is the servlet is our tag, and inside that servlet name and servlet class. So this is our servlet com.login.servlet we created, correct?
Right.
And we need to give some name to this servlet. You can give xyz also. So this is the original full qualified class name, and we are giving some name. That name for this servlet is login servlet. You can give any name. Okay. So whenever user is submitting any request with a specific name, if you see here, right, there is a form and action I mentioned here some name login, correct? So you copy the login name. You can give any name here and come to web.xml and you can say login. So if any request is coming with login, and that request should delegate to this login select, and this name is belongs to this select, correct?
It doesn't matter if I say it's like some, let's say it's on Google login. So it still is going to take the last word, right? Login, and then it's connected to this, right?
So whatever name you are giving here, you have to give same thing here. You can give
Oh, so
XYZ
even
also.
the, okay, even though if I'm writing something else on the application, let's say for example, email login. So it's not gonna goes to the login page, is it?
So if you say email login here, say for instance email login,
So
or
I have, yeah, I have to write the email login as well there
yes, you
in
have
the
to
action.
write email login. Yes, exactly. Whatever you are defining here,
Oh, okay. So
you have to
I was
define.
asking, is it like a search button? Is it like based on picking a few word and then goes to the
Correct.
connection?
Yes, correct. Yes. So right here some email login, and we have to define here email login. You have to define email login, and it will go to the servlet and name, and what is the corresponding class? Login servlet, correct? Inside the login servlet, which method we have to execute it? Because this is a Java file, right? Which method you have to execute it? If you go back to your login servlet, there is a lot of methods. This is one method, and this is another method. Do get, there is one default method, and do post, there is a default method. Which method we have to call? So this is the question, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that is based on here. So here there is a tag called method. Did you see this method equal to get? So there is a get means it will be executed. Do get method. Post means if you say here post, and it will be
Mm-hmm.
called by do post. And I can tell you one more thing. As part of our last Ajax code, Ajax discussion, I told you there is a method equal to. Did you remember? Post or get was there. There is your Ajax example. Yes. So this is your Ajax example, correct? Last time we discussed country, all those things, correct? Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
I told you, right? So this server URL and this getter post will be defined by the developer of this server URL, correct? So if you
Yeah.
say get here, so it will come to the servlet and corresponding servlet, and it will execute do get method.
Okay.
It's clear, right? How which method how to send a request to a particular method. So that is based on the method.
Mm-hmm.
And you define here whatever method you want, get, do get, or do post, and the request will come to this servlet, and inside this servlet it will be executed corresponding method. So to just to see which method is executing, so you write one sysout system dot println do get. Do post. Okay, now your servlet is ready. If the request is coming to this servlet and do get, you will see. If the request is coming to do post, you will see do post, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let me deploy this servlet again back.
How much time it takes to reload the server?
So that is based on how many files is there. It will not take much
Oh,
time.
okay.
It will not take much time in general. If more servlets is there, first time it will take more time. Why? Because it need to convert all JSPs to Java files, Java to dot class and objects, correct?
Hmm.
So it went to the server. If you see the console, what you will see here? So it called do post, correct?
I don't.
Did you see
Okay.
this?
I don't see it because I think your skin a little bit cut off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the down there. That's why I don't see the console result clearly.
Okay. Now we can able to see this login form.
Right.
Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to submit the form. Just let me just I did click on login. Now if I open the console, you can able to see the console message.
Right. Now I can see that. Yep.
So did you see this do post?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I am submitting the form, whenever I am submitting the form, so I submitted again back. Now do post is calling. Do post sysout is executing. So because the request is reaching do post method. So now he inside do post method, what I want to read the username and password what user is provided. So how to read that one? So I want to define a string user name equal to. So did you see this? There is an inbuilt two request, HTTP request and HTTP servlet response. So you just take this one, request dot parameter name, and the similar way you can define one more variable password. So what is the field name we had given here?
And name. Okay.
Uname, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this here? There is a some small log is displayed. So reloading the context completed. So every time whenever you are trying to do the change, right? So it will refresh the content. Means server will reload automatically back end side. So every time if you are doing some change, if you are saving it, right? Server side server it will reload automatically. Sorry. So let me. So what is the username field? Uname, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You need to take that one and you need to put it here. And what is the password? That given name here, pwd, correct? Copy this name and put it here. So now finally I can able to read username and password. Now let me display as a sysout. Username colon. The similar way I want to display password.
Mm.
So finally I can able to read so password is this one. Finally I can able to read username and password in the console as it is, correct? So
Right.
this is the way we have to use basically a request to read the form fields. So these two are the form fields, correct? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now let me submit the form. Just go back. So this is our application, correct? So now let
Mm-hmm.
me enter the username is test and password is welcome one. So you're not able to see, but I typed welcome one and submit it. And if you come back here, right, did you see the username is test and password is
Yeah. And Okay.
You
Okay. I
can.
see the blue post, but yeah, other than that is blocking. Okay.
Oh, you are not able to see this one. Why screen is blocking? I don't know. So now we can able to see it.
Okay, now I can see it. Yep.
Yeah. So whatever we are typing, so that is coming to the server. Now let me go back and submit one more time. So this is client. Client you can able to see it, right?
Right.
Yes. Let me open this one. So this is client. So now I am typing here. Password username is PQR and password is XYZ and submit it. Did you see this?
Right. Uh-huh.
So this is called log. So that's what, right, if some issue will come, what developer will do, I need to check log. That's what they used to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said they want to verify it log, correct?
Right. Yep.
So it will go to the server and they will verify this log, what information we are receiving from the user.
Yep.
So far it's clear, right, how we are reading the form fields in the server side, correct?
Right.
So we will see about more tomorrow, like what is this request and what is this response, what is this methods in depth a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, we'll connect tomorrow same time. Okay,
Okay. Sure.
yeah, fine, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.